welcome to Rainy Books with Amanda. My name is Amanda and I'm here to do a book review. Quick introduction, I am new to YouTube and the BookTube community, so if you would like to grow with me, please subscribe to my channel. Besides book reviews, I also do manga Mondays and I started doing silent vlogs as well, so if you're into any of that, please subscribe to my channel. I'm happy to have you along on this journey. So today I'm really excited about today's book review. It is called The Secret of You and Me by Melissa Lenhart. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I always do, with my book reviews, I always do a blog post along with the book review, and that gives a little more information. So I will link my book review, my blog post book review down below in the description. This is also a Lone Star Literary Life book. If you're just joining me, I do sometimes get paid to write reviews for Lone Star Literary Life. They are a great Texas book resource. They help Texas authors push out their books, and they also have, if you sign up for their newsletter, they also have great information about up-and-coming authors, book events, virtual book events coming up. So they are an awesome resource. I will link them down below as well. So yes, The Secret of You and Me. I'm going to read the back so you get a little synopsis, and then I'll go straight into the book review. So about the book. Nora hasn't looked back, not since she fled Texas to start a new life, away from her father's volatile temper and the ever-watchful gaze of her claustrophobically conservative small town. Nora has freed herself. She can live and love however she wants. The only problem is that she also left behind the one woman she can't forget. Now tragedy calls her back home to confront her past and reconcile her future. Sophie seems to have everything: a wonderful daughter, a successful husband, and a rewarding career. Yet underneath the perfection lies an explosive secret. She still yearns for Nora, her best friend and first love, despite all the years between them. So when Sophie finds out that Nora has returned, she hopes Nora's stay is short. The life she has built depends on it. But they both find that first love doesn't fade easily. Memories to come to light, passion ignites, and old feelings resurface. As the forces of family and intolerance that once tore them apart begin to reemerge, they realize some things may never change unless they demand it. So that is the synopsis, like a little synopsis of the book, and I want to start out on a very positive light. I loved this book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a breath of fresh air from what I've been reading. Not that none of the books that I have read this past year were boring or anything. I have read some great books, but this is probably my favorite fiction book of 2020 so far. It was just an incredible book. So the first thing I want to talk about are the characters. There are some great characters in this book. There are characters that you're going to love, such as Nora and Sophie, and then there are characters that you're gonna hate, like Charlie and Brenda, which Charlie is Sophie's husband and Brenda is Sophie's mother. So there's going to be characters that you love and that you hate, that you despise, whether they're main characters or side characters. You really do get into the characters of this book, whether they are side or main people. All the characters have their own kind of personality, and from reading, I could always tell, like, oh, this person reminds me of this person, or this person reminds me of someone that I used to know. And so it was really easy to kind of fit a character with a description, because everyone had their own personality, and you really felt the character. Like, I could really feel the emotion of these characters and the way they were feeling. So the anger that they were portraying, I could feel that, and the hurt and the pain and the sorrow that they felt, like you can really feel that in this book. The author does a great job of portraying all her characters' thoughts and feelings. Melissa Lenhart does a really good job of characterization. When somebody does characterization, it can be good, it can be bad, or it can be extraordinary. And Melissa does an extraordinary job at drawing out her characters and really making you feel for them and recognize who they are, and even recognize someone in your life. And then the storyline, the main storyline is incredible. So it is about, like we heard, it is about two lesbian lovers that have grown apart, but then the main one, Nora, comes back. She's very open about her sexuality, while Sophie, our other main character, is not as open, and you get to see their dynamic and how their love comes together and sees how it blooms across time. It has a very Romeo and Juliet type of feel, but I just love the main storyline. And then it takes place in a small Texas town in the middle of nowhere, so the main storyline definitely just keeps the reader interested and engaged along with the characters. Besides the main storyline, there are little storylines throughout the book, and the storylines deal with different relationships that the main characters have with their side characters. You really get to see the people that Nora left behind, which one of them was her sister, and you get to see that relationship, that rocky relationship between Nora and her sister Mary, and then she left behind her caretaker, which was her aunt Emmeline, and you get to see that dynamic and how Emmeline really misses her and how Nora does miss her but doesn't really want to admit that she does. And then you also see Sophie interact with her mother Brenda, who's always unapproving, and her husband Charlie, who is, for lack of better words, a jackass. And then you get to see the dynamic between her and her daughter Logan as well, and how Logan sees her, because they have a really up and down relationship. So there's great other points that these main characters come across. And then there's also really heavy topics. While it was a great read, there's heavy topics that the book really dives deep into. There's, without giving too much away, I mean, there's topics of sexuality, brainwashing, how loved ones keep stuff inside for so long, alcoholism, bullying, and just teen pregnancy, and it just seems like a little bit of everything. But it all keeps you engaged. But overall, I am now a new fan of Melissa Lenhart. This book really, really engaged me and entertained me, and I didn't want to put it down. So I will be picking up a few more books from her, and we'll be doing more book reviews of her books. And after you read this story, I think you will too, if you haven't read her other stories already. But yeah, The Secret of You and Me has a compelling plot, great characterization, great relationship stories, great topics, and it's just overall a great book. There wasn't anything really wrong that I saw. I would love an updated sequel to this book. The only thing that I felt like maybe there were some loose ties to some of the relationship dynamics that I would love to see in the second book. I don't know if we will, but maybe if there's enough interest, and maybe if the author herself wants to do a second book, maybe we'll get one, or maybe we'll just always wonder and have to leave the imagination up to ourselves. But I do give this book a 5 out of 5. I definitely recommend it. And again, I will post my written blog review down in the description. But that's it for today. Again, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. And you can always follow me for more stuff on my Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter account. And until next time, happy reading.